Welcome to the Real Solar Podcast. This is Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And we keep it real up in here. So today we're going to be talking about team building, one of my Brody's favorite topics. Dude, I'm going to let you kick this off, bro. This is your bread and butter.
Man, well, team building, dude, I come from playing sports all my life, you know, from playing baseball, basketball, football. They're all team sports, even soccer when I was older, playing in an adult league. And I just always wanted to compete because that's what was fun, winning something, right? Get to have an opposition to battle against so then somebody can win or lose, just the love for the game. That was always in me. That's the competitive spirit, right?
And before diving into it, what would you say to kind of set the tone for anybody that says, dude, team building isn't worth it? Like you that's not what you should be focused on. You should just be focused on you. Forget building a team.
Well, I can tell they never won anything. They've never been part of a winning team. That's the only people that would say that would be people that got burned, people that were part of a toxic team. Maybe they're toxic themselves. That's why they think that way. But anybody that's a winner, anybody that's been involved in a high level competitive spirit at anything will at least give team building a shot in their industry, because why not? There's a lot of leverage. There's a lot of collaboration that can happen with that.
So what's the difference between someone with a team and someone without a team?
Well, there's two parts of this, right? If you want to build a team just for the simple fact that you want to make more money, you're probably not going to be successful at it.
Yeah.
That's part one. Part two is that if you're doing it because it's really who you are and it's part of your identity, right? And then now you're playing with the right mindset.
Yeah.
And once you're involved there, what's the difference from those that succeed at it and those that don't? Is that you got to think about your team first.
Yeah.
The team comes first. It's almost like when you start a family, it's family first, you second.
Yeah.
But then there's a balance where it's like, wait, but should I put on the mask first before I try to save others? And it's the biggest challenge is figuring out when you got to look out for yourself and when you got to look out for the team. So the best way to do it is, how do I look out for the team where it benefits me at the same time?
Yeah.
But it has to be looking out for the team first. It's not, how do I look out for me and then figure a way of how that benefits the team?
Right.
And I think at times it can get you in trouble because we take care of everybody, making sure everybody's happy, making sure everybody's got opportunity. Meanwhile, we're behind the scenes, just making sure that everything's available for everyone. And then the hardest part is when you feel that you're not being appreciated for that.
Yeah.
That's the toughest part. And unless you love this shit, that's the part when most people quit.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I love this. So it doesn't, no single man or woman can do anything to make me stop pursuing what I'm pursuing.
Right.
Because it's part of my identity.
Right.
It's part of who I am. I love it that much that it doesn't matter who disapproves of it.
Right.
I'm going to keep doing it.
So do you believe that you're born with that identity? Can that identity be created or
Well, we are all
developed?
born with it, but developing it is really where in the association, right? But number one is you cannot be selfish.
Yeah.
You got to be a selfless leader.
Yep.
And it's so easy to see the selfish people.
Yeah.
Again, we might not say anything, but we see it.
Yeah.
We see it from you smell like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you can't fake leadership. You can't fake gratitude. You can't fake any of these things. You can lie to yourself, but you're not lying to us.
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing here is that you literally have to enjoy helping other people.
Yeah.
You have to get significance out of it. And I talk about it all the time. Success is helping yourself. Significance is helping others.
Yeah.
See, because you can be extremely successful, but if it doesn't impact anybody else, what? You're successful. That's great, but you're not significant.
Yeah.
You're not significant to me. But if you help me, you take me from my old job where I used to make $40,000 a year, and now you help me make $40,000 a month. You're a significant individual in my life if you help me do that.
Yeah.
And then we don't even have to go that high. I could have. You're helping me pay my mortgage off faster. You're helping me pay my car. I'm making an extra $2,000 a month, an extra $4,000 a month because of your help. That's significance.
Yep. Yeah, and you hit it on the head, you know, as far as the approach on why you're building a team. Yes, long term, there's more money, but there's so much work needed. Just like building a business, you're building a team. You have to empower your people. You're not allowed to have a rainy day. Like they're looking to you for that inspiration. They're looking to you to solve their problems. They're bringing what their concerns are to you. So you need to make sure you're self-developing. You need to find your why and make it bigger than anything else that can come your way, because believe me, building a team, there's going to be a lot that's going to come your way. Between the team members, they're going to cause issues. They're going to be talking. It's up to you to create that environment, to make sure that everyone is on the same mission. And it's a lot of work. Yeah. It's not like you're going to come in and, dude, I got a team now, I'm making millions.
Well, when you know where you're going, you're not afraid of who's jumping off the bus, right? It's when you don't even know where you're going and you're just trying to keep everybody happy to keep this shit afloat. And that's where you're at a disadvantage as a leader, as a team builder. Once you have that certainty of where you're going and you understand that you're pouring in everything you can pour into your people, whoever doesn't see it at that point, you can't please everybody.
Right.
You got to keep moving forward. And when you become the most dangerous is when you're not worried about who's quitting or who's leaving and coming, like, because you know that at the end of the day, you have a mission and the real ones are going to stick around.
Yeah. And building a team, if you're in this industry, should be your goal. It should be what you're focused on, because there's only so much you can do yourself. You need to develop something that's duplicatable. You need to understand your process, your structure, how you get results, and be able to train people on that. Once you've developed something where other people are producing, you can duplicate your efforts. Now it's not about what you've sold. Now it's about what your team has sold. What's the production, and duplicating that to multiple markets, to multiple cities. And the only way to truly do that is to have a system in place. Understand what your system is. Understand what you're doing and what's your day-to-day activity. You need to slow down and document that. And if you don't want to do that, then you need to find a system that's working and put yourself in there. Leverage systems that are already in place, because there's no way you're going to build and scale being people dependent. You need to be system dependent. There's trigger points for everything that's happening. And if you're looking to scale, there's no way you're going to be able to keep track of everything without having something like that in place.
And recruit your weakness. So, for example, if you don't speak Spanish, recruit some Spanish people. If you don't speak English, recruit some English people. If you feel you're too old, recruit some younger people. If you feel you're too young, recruit some older people. Like, recruit into your weakness, right? If you're blind, find somebody that can see. If you're paralyzed, find somebody that can walk. Like, that's the whole concept of everybody helping each other out. Your weakness, find strengths within somebody else so that they can be your legs, they can be your eyes, they can be, that resource that maybe you lack, but now you have it because it's part of your team. And that's a beautiful part about having a team where I don't have a weakness. Right? Because whatever weakness I might have personally, it might be a strength for Legacy, or it might be a strength for somebody else that's part of the circle, that's part of the team. And anytime I come across that, I'm like, hey, Legacy, hey, Kenny, hey, Daniel, hey, Carla, because there's strengths that other people have that I don't. And then there's sometimes I get those phone calls. Hey, Caesar. Right. And I'm happy to help, because that's when I feel like, oh, it's time for me to give value to the team. This is where my value proposition comes in. Right. And it's just a revolving circle of value constantly given without expecting anything in return. Right. Because it's like, if you're doing things, if you're giving value just to expect something in return, it usually takes longer to get that return.
And that concept, really grasping that on the team building, understanding what it really takes to develop something, to develop a strong foundation. Because if your foundation is weak, it's going to crumble. So if you're going about it because you want to work less, you're trying to build a team because it's like, dude, I'm tired of this. I'm done. I don't want to do it. You're not going to build a successful team. You need to lead from the front. You need to show your people that you're capable of doing that and more.
You can't be a fake leader, man.
You're going to assume way more work, way more responsibilities, because you still have to maintain your work. But now you've got a team that you're responsible for. You've got to be able to solve all of their problems. And if you're training them consistently and you're doing an effective job, it's going to get to the point where they can resolve the problems. And now you've got another level of leadership. Now you're getting to the point where you're working less, but now your moves are getting bigger. It's not that you're working less, your moves shifted.
There's
Your
different types of
activity
meetings.
shifted.
You're going from $1,000 meetings to six-figure meetings,
Mhm.
and then you go from six-figure meetings to seven-figure meetings.
Mhm.
But you're only going to get there if you're putting in the work. You can't build a team so that now I can sit back and just earn from the
Yeah.
team. Like that doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
Anybody that ever thinks that is delusional, man. Like, oh, I'm building a team so that I can chill.
Yep.
And I don't, there might be people that look at us sometimes like, oh man, that must be really nice to have a big organization and just be able to chill and live off of what everyone's doing. Like, yeah, the fuck right.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, when people call me sometimes because I'm traveling, hey bro, I don't want to bother you. I know you're on vacation. Like, dude, I'm not on vacation. I'm traveling. I'm working while like I got internet. Like just because I'm in New York doesn't mean I'm on vacation.
Yep.
Off grid. Like in the building stages, you're never on vacation. Like
No.
I don't recommend anybody to take a vacation while you're building something.
way, dude.
Because in that week or 2 weeks, everything can fall down on your ass.
Yep.
Everything that you build up for so long in 2 weeks, if you want to disconnect from the world, like a lot of people, like, I just want to disconnect from the world, not here for anything. Like that's not happening, dude. Like not while you're in building phase.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you have a team, the only way to measure if you truly have a team is having KPIs. If you don't have data of the activity of your team, then you don't really have a team. You have a bunch of people that are working with you. You need to have a level of measurement for everyone. Why? Because now you know if they're doing better or worse than last month. Now you can see trends and you can identify, hey man, every January our numbers drop. What's going on? Ooh, every June our numbers skyrocket. There's something going on here. This is a good month. What are we doing that month that we can implement on the other months? You can see your projections. You can start planning ahead. Something I always tell everybody is spend your money before you make it. Have those plans already in mind because the money's going to come in and you're going to find a lot of things you want to buy. Your business should be first. You should put aside what you need, but the business should continue to grow. You need to feed the machine that is producing the cash flow that you're living on. And if that's your career, that's your focus, that's how you're changing your life, then feeding the beast is crucial. And you need to maintain that. So having those measurements, having a way of identifying who's doing good, who's doing bad, and knowing what that means. Like someone's doing good because of what? They're always hyped and they're always in a good mood.
No, because of their title, right? If their title says they're a hot shot, they must be.
Yeah.
Right? How many times do we hear that? Like the activity will earn you the title. The title's not going to earn you the respect, the activity, and the money. Because we can all put a tag of whatever we want.
Yeah.
You know, and say, I'm the CEO, I'm the VP, I'm the sales manager, I'm the regional manager. And we can talk about all these because we've had requests of people talking about how, hey man, if you give me the title, I'll go do the work. It's like, that's not how it works, buddy. It's just, I'm sorry. We would be doing you a disservice. We'll be positioning you to fail. And then it's going to make everybody look bad because you can't just hand out a position of like, you're a director because you're my friend, because you came here first, because you were one of the first ones. We're going to crown you director. Everybody else is going to have to work their ass up the food chain. But you, because you're special, you're going to get it because of your track record, because of your resume, because you were here before everybody else. No, like go do the work, go position yourself, make people respect you because of the actions you do, the activity that you do, not because of your title. You know, there's a book that talks about the 5 positions of leadership. The worst position, the first position is title. Like if somebody's a sales manager at the Sprint store and he just keeps reminding somebody like, dude, I'm your manager. You got to listen to me, because they're afraid of getting fired. They listen to you because they have to.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that leader. We're in this industry, nobody has to listen to anybody, right? Nobody's worried about getting fired if they don't listen to this guy or that guy, because it's not that type of setup. So one of the things I would say, hey, don't worry about the title. The title doesn't make you. The respect is not earned with the title.
Nope.
The respect is earned with the activity, with the results.
And that title, you will assume it with the activity.
You will get that title.
No one is going to second guess if so-and-so comes in and they've got 50 deals this month and they recruited 20 people and they've been doing it back to back and they've been breaking records, and then that person gets the title. No one's going to question it.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, well, of course he
Who
got the
brought
title.
you on board? Legacy. Who brought you on board? Legacy. Who helped you out? Legacy. Well, then I guess he's doing his job, and I guess he deserves that title. And nobody's going to question it. But when a title is handed out, and then it's like, where's all your people at? Where's all the success stories? Where are all the testimonials? Where are all the, people saying that you've helped them get to the top?
Yeah.
Do that first, and then the title will be there for you, we promise.
Yeah. And then having a team has its perks. Like, aside from building more money and having influence, there's a number of people now that are following what you're saying, that are following your direction. If you throw an event, you can fill the room, starting with your team, and they can help fill the room as well. If you have a new investment, your team can go in on that investment. If you have a new opportunity, your team would be the first people you present it to. You have a higher level of leverage with that, and you need to have that leverage if you want to get more time. Like, it's good to have a lot of money, but if you have no time, like, you're not enjoying what you're making. Like, you need to have a balance of that. And if you become a master of delegation and you can master the skill set of creating systems that are duplicatable, that other people can learn, and that are simplistic, easy to follow, and they can go do exactly what you told them to do and create results, now you're leveraging a team. Now you're growing, you're expanding. The limit of yourself doing something is 24 hours. But once you have a team, you have one more person, all of a sudden that's 48 hours. You have another person, the time keeps duplicating. Now the limit gets higher and higher. And
10 people on your team, that's 240 hours a week. You can only get 24 by yourself.
Yeah.
So, man, and the biggest thing for me, man, it's for people that want to build a team. You already talk about it. We can't have bad days, but also what we can't have is not having integrity, man.
Yeah.
That's the point that a lot of people don't like to talk about, because there's a lot of people that are producers, but they don't have no damn integrity. Yeah. There's people that have organizations and they're making a bunch of money, and they're, the number one way of them attracting people is by flashing the money, which is cool. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is that you flash people with the money, you entice them to jump on board, and then you screw them over, and we're killing our own industry. We gotta raise the level of integrity to protect our industry. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing an excellent job with that, and then there's a lot of people out there that are just being scumbags. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it right now.
It's a fact.
And so you can hear a bunch of other stuff. Usually the ones that promise stuff are not going to deliver on it. And so one thing about The Real, whatever we say we're going to do, that's what we're going to do. It might not be it might not happen when you want it, but when we're going to get it done eventually. It might not happen, yesterday when it was convenient for you, but we're going to get there. We're going to do everything exactly we said we were going to do. We're going to do it. And if you stick around to see it, great. If you don't, good luck. Right. But that's the whole point, that I want to make sure that if we have leaders within our company, they're not leaders that we're going to have to go behind them and clean up their mess, their lack of integrity, the lies and manipulation or what have you. We don't want to deal with people like that. We just want to keep it real. We want to be transparent and help everybody win.
Yeah. So a leader, just before we sign off here, what would you say defines a leader of a team? How do you know? How can you look at that person without him telling you or her telling you? How do you know that person's a leader?
Well, just by how everybody else in the room connects with them, just by the type of questions, by the type of interactions, right? Are we solving issues? Do we have game plans set up? Right? Do you have a reference from everybody in your team? Do you have those KPIs? Do you know do you know your team well? Right? That's how I can tell somebody's a leader, if they have the buy-in from the squad. Yeah. If people are constantly edifying them, even when they're not in the room, that's when you know you're dealing with the leader.
Yeah. Yeah, and having the importance of knowing your team. I think that's a really big part, is having your team established, knowing what your team wants to accomplish, and making it your personal mission to help that person get there, make it easier for them. make the connections that they need if you have those resources, and caring about what they're trying to accomplish, what they truly want, what they desire, because they're not going to leave you if they know that you're vested in them and you're truly wanting to help them reach the newest level, get to their goal, make their dream a reality. And if you believe you have that ability and you're going to fight for that, you're going to fight for your team, because it's not about you. It's not about looking cool. It's not about being the baddest and the leader. Dude, it's about your team. Fuck what you drive. What is your team driving? What does your team have? How successful are they? That's what your focus should be, because by default, you're going to be successful.
Absolutely. If the collaboration of all your team's goals becomes your goal, then that's a win-win situation. And you can provide value knowing that if you help everybody get what they want, you're going to have everything you want.
Yep.
Right? Simple concept, and really, really just having that gratitude towards having people that are bought into your vision and making it your primary reason for getting up in the morning, your primary reason to go out and work, to make sure that everybody in your team hits their goals.
Yep.
If you don't have that type of fire for them, then that candle's going to dwindle and it's going to blow away, and they're going to have to go get lit up by somebody else. Yeah. And then you're going to complain that your team leaves. You're going to complain that somebody's cross-recruiting you, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? That wouldn't be a thing if you were doing your job as a leader.
100%. Well, there you have it, guys. Team building. I'm Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And you know we keep it real.